I hope so. I mean, stop shooting the messenger. That's the first thing I'm going to say all the time. Like, you know, all those volunteers who came out, young people, all the love and passion they put to it, they deserve good leadership, whether inside government, outside the government. You have to honor that, right? They deserve it. So I think denialism is not the best way forward. Bashing people right and left, blaming voters, I'm not sure that's the way forward in a democracy. I think democracy is about building the biggest coalition possible. It's a game of addition, not necessarily selling your soul in the process, but you have to compromise.
Yeah.
You know, Hillary Clinton, not necessarily the most successful politician in recent years, she said something that stuck with me. She said, you meet the voters where they are. You don't expect them to come to your side or impose your will. I think that this is someone who lost a very bitter fight in 2016. I think she learned her lesson. She's even a novelist now, apparently. I want to say something, but I'm not going to say it. We might meet each other at some point. I'll keep it there.
Okay.
But you see, she learned it bitterly. But she said, you have to meet the voters where they are. I think that's what Biden did. I think that's what Macron did. You see, populists, authoritarian populists, are not invincible. They have been beaten in France recently. They were beaten in America the other year. So we see that if you play your cards well, if you meet the voters where they are, if you're less judgmental, less cancelish, you might build a big enough base.
Meeting the voters where they are, not scolding them, not saying,
not lecturing
you don't know
them
enough, I will educate you. Or, ganon.
Never start with, I will educate you, or you're not educated enough. Those kind. I'm a teacher, so for me, the best method is Socratic method. Make people realize on their own whether there's certain contradictions. Don't tell them. Don't talk at them. Talk with them. Have that kind of dialogue. Even with my baluktot Tagalog and my semi-okay Ilocano, I try to always reach out to people of all socioeconomic classes. And I realize, even if we may not share ideas, if you give them the basic respect, if you're not giving them this kind of elitist, aloof aura, you can go a long way. You can go a long way. And it's the culture of dialogue that we have to build in this country, democratic dialogue. Hindi pa tapos ang demokrasya natin. I mean, there's still tomorrow. Philippines will be around, God willing, for centuries to come, for thousands of years and all. So I hope people will not anchor their faith in democracy by the result of one election or two. As disappointing as this may have been for Lenny's supporters, you have to have a long view. You know, you have to look at the long-term future. And at the same time, take inspiration in some of the gains you have made in the past month or so. There's still a lot of people who believe in Lenny and a progressive change. And you know, 10 million for a president, I mean, Lenny's going to get more votes than Maro has, at least, right? I mean, no, I mean, I'm not meaning it as an insult to anyone. I'm just saying that means...
Statement of fact.
That means she's still maybe doing something better than the previous prospective leader of the opposition, right? So let's see where this is going to go. I think it's really important that adults in the room do their job, send the right signal, mobilize the right people, and give the leadership that volunteers deserve. Volunteers on all sides. East Coast volunteers, Marcos volunteers. I've seen volunteers from all sides, and a lot of them are passionate. Hindi ito mga bayaran. Passionate sila. They believe in their cause. It's civic activism. Something I'm very glad about. My millennial generation, sometimes not so exciting, but a lot of Gen Z I'm seeing they're having the civic activism. We need that in a democracy because democracy is about social capital and trust. Now, I'm sounding now like a politician giving a speech, but I am doing my best, guys.
But you are saying, what you're saying here is, you know, for the volunteers of the candidates that lost, you know, this is not the end of it. Continue to engage, continue to engage, continue to be involved, you know, speak, etc. Right?
Yeah. I mean, lastly, Pia, I don't know, how many months old is the Pink movement? It started October, right? It's not even a year old, right? So imagine the potential of this movement if, with the right strategy, with the right leadership, with faith in democracy, fighting the good fight, keeping the faith, if those elements stay there, they could be a force to reckon with. Maybe they didn't do as well this election cycle, but there's election in 3 years from now, 6 years from now. We shift to parliamentary democracy. It could be elections every year, depending on vote of confidence. You know what I'm saying? And these are the things. I think we really need to do some of our assignments, and we are not doing it. And this is not only about the opposition, it's about the whole system. We have had a very flawed, dysfunctional democracy for so long. So many people are just desperate for change.
We have a lot of homework to do. But numbers are as of 10:17 p.m. But before we go to that, we're going to go first to the most vote-rich province. I mean, numbers muna. Okay, numbers first.
We're going to go Cebu,
Okay, as of 10:17 p.m. 23 552,103 votes, Marcos. Lenny Robredo, 11,183,118. Medyo malayo-layo pa tayo sa 14.4 M.
Right.
Manny Pacquiao, 2,233,664. Isko Moreno, 1,512,344 votes. Ping Lacson, 723,218 votes. Then followed by Mangundato, Abelia, De Guzman, Gonzalez, and Montemayor. Are we going to show the VP?
The first transmission will begin at any time between 10 and 11 p.m. But as of 10:30 p.m., zero transmission. One of the reasons he cited, polls closed at 7 p.m. and many were still voting beyond that. There were vote counting machines or BCMs that malfunctioned, but Brillante said that this were either replaced or repaired immediately. Hindi pa alam exactly kung ilan yon. He also instructed BEIs in precincts with no signal and with only few voters to transmit the votes in the nearest polling precinct. Pia.
Well, interesting to hear that about Cebu. Of course, this province is, well, GMA carried Cebu in 2004. This was where she held her inauguration. Carolyn, can you tell us more about why the lines in some polling precincts you visited were slow?
Okay. Pia, we were able to visit at least 3 polling precincts here in Cebu City, and after 7 p.m., we were still seeing long queues in some polling precincts. And one of the reasons cited to us earlier is that they were accommodating regular voters and senior citizens alternately. So some senior citizens take time, they're having difficulty voting, so that actually takes time, Pia.
All right. Caroline Bonkin there reporting from Cebu, 3,288,778 registered voters, the number one vote-rich province in the country. The numbers now, as of 10:17 tonight, 23,522,103 votes for Marcos, inching closer to the 25 million vote mark. Lenny Robredo, 11,183,118 votes. Manny Pacquiao, 2,233,664 votes. Isko Moreno, 1,512,344 votes. Ping Lacson, 723,218. They're followed by Mangundato, Abelia, De Guzman, Gonzalez, and Montemayor. The VP race, Sara Duterte, still number one. Are we going to show that right now? Sara Duterte at number one with 23,322,041 votes. Kiko Pangilinan, a very far second with 7,051,753 votes. Tito Soto, 6,333,273 votes. They're followed by Willie Ong, Lito Atienza, Manny Lopez, Walton Bello, Carlos Serapio, and Lito David. The senatorial race, number one, if I'm not mistaken, still Robin Padilla with 19,462,237 votes. Lauren Legarda, 18,522,191 votes. Rafi Tulfo, we were speaking to him just a while ago, 17,805,181 votes. They're followed by Win Gatchalian with 15.8 million votes. She's Escudero, kausap din po natin siya kanina lamang, with 15.7 million votes. Mark Villar is number 6. 7 is Alan Cayetano. Number 8, Joel Villanueva, a comebacking center also. Mig Zubiri, number 9, with 14.1 million votes. JV Ejercito has gone up to number 10 with 12,046,820 votes. In number 11 spot is Risa Ontiveros. Number 12, Jinggoy Estrada with 11.2 million votes. They're followed by Herbert Bautista, Giorgio Binay, Gibo Teodoro, Gilor Eliazar, Harry Roque, Greg Onasan. Oh, nalampasan na ni Greg si Chel Diokno, who is now number 19, and Larry Gadon with 7.5 million votes. That is as of 10:17 p.m. That is about 73% or more, 73% plus of election returns. That is in the COMELEC transparency server. It is 10:47 in the evening, 3 hours and 47 minutes since the polls closed, and Bongbong Marcos has so far mounted a huge lead over Leni Robredo, and this was a fight to the finish in a very, very bitter campaign. 23.5 million votes for BBM, and for Leni, 11.2 million votes so far as of 10:17 this evening. All right. We're going to have to take a very quick break. When we come back, more data, more information, more numbers, more interviews. This is CNN Philippines. This is our live, in-depth coverage of this year's general election. Stay with us. Be right back.
district kung saan tumatakbong unopposed si Mayor Rex Gatchalian. Nakakuha siya ng 134,329 votes. Sa second district representatives naman, 121,798 votes ang nakuha ni re-electionist Eric Martinez, habang 46,884 votes ang nakuha ni Maggie Cunidundo na former representative ng ikalawang distrito noong 2001 to 2004, 2007 to 2010, 2010 to 2013 at 2013 to 2016. Atong sa mga oras na ito, ipakita lang natin na kasalukuyang kakatapos lang ng recess ng City Board of Canvassers dito sa Valenzuela City Hall. Kaya kasalukuyang nag-update sila dito ng mga botohan ng unofficial tally results. Dito nakikita niyo yung screen o yung projector dito sa nasa third floor po kami ng Valenzuela City Hall. At
This is the CNN Philippine special coverage, the Filipino votes, election night 2022. Bongbong Marcos has mounted a very huge lead over Leni Robredo. Marcos has 23,552,103 votes. Leni Robredo has 11,183,118 votes. This is as of 10:17 tonight. May 9, 2022, general national elections. Manny Pacquiao is at number 3 with 2.2 million votes. Isko Moreno, 1.5 billion votes. Ping Lacson, a little over 720,000 votes. They're followed by Mangundato, Abelia, De Guzman, Gonzales, and Montemayor. In the VP race, it is the same. The running mate of Marcos, Sara Duterte, is at number 1 with 23,322,041 votes. Kiko Pangilinan, a far second with 7,051,753 votes. Tito Soto, 6,333,273 votes. Doc Willie Ong, Lito Atienza, Manny Lopez, Walden Bello, Carlos Serapio, and Lito David round up the 9 VP candidates. This is as of 10:17 p.m. This is a little over 73% of election returns in the COMELEC transparency server. Marcos and Duterte have taken the early lead in the senatorial race. Robin Padilla is leading that race. Now, earlier, I spoke with the spokesman of presidential candidate Bongbong Marcos. Here's my conversation with attorney Vic Rodriguez. Yes, before we talk about those results showing former Senator Marcos in with a very big lead, I just wanted to ask, where is he? Is he there right now in HQ or is he at home?
No, he is in somewhere in NCR, PIA, monitoring also itong nagaganap na bilangan.
Mm-hmm. What has he said so far?
Wala, nagmo-monitor lang at yun nga, inaantabayanan. As for your reporter, 60% of the clustered precincts ang natatransmit na. So we're hoping that the transparency server, the transmission will pick up further para sabay sila nung COMELEC central server.
As of 8:47 p.m., Attorney Vic, 18.9 million ang boto na ni BBM. And Leni Robredo is trailing him, as we can see, with about 8.9 million votes. Kanina, sabi ni Rex Remitio, who was reporting from outside, just outside your HQ, na hindi daw muna kayo matutulog dahil medyo naalala ninyo yung nangyari noong 2016. At the same time, there is guarded optimism. Is this accurate?
Yeah, that's accurate, Tia. We're still on guarded optimism. At hindi rin naman kami magpapahinga hanggat hindi na stabilize itong ginagawang transmission of the election results from the precinct level. And umaasa kami na magtutuloy-tuloy itong ganitong resulta.
Is Senator Marcos going to be making a statement or holding a press conference, or kahit magsalita lang siya tonight? It's only 9:23 in the evening. Are we going to hear from him tonight?
O, hindi pa namin napapag-usapan, inaantay pa natin na umangat pa nga itong porsyento ng mga clustered precincts transmitted at nakamonitor din naman si Presidential Frontrunner Bongbong Marcos.
That was our earlier conversation with Attorney Vic Rodriguez, spokesman for BBM. We were told also that dapat magbibigay ng statement or that he would make some sort of an announcement, former Senator Marcos himself. But we're waiting for that. In the meantime, we have the latest numbers, right? No, we're going to go to the numbers as of 10:32 p.m. Marcos has 24,070,851 votes, nearing the 25 million vote mark. Lenny Robredo has 11,447,751. And Richard Hidarin, this is what we were talking about a while ago, no? Yung kailangan ma-breach niya, yung 14.4 million mark niya for VP, but she's still at 11.4.
Yeah, I think the projection, one of the projections we saw is like 30, 13. BBM closing on somewhere around 30 and Lenny around 13. I think that's one of the projections I've seen.
All right,
so
okay.
This doesn't look too different from that, yeah.
All right, well, further on, Manny Pacquiao at number 3 with 2,316,665 votes. Isko Moreno, 1,538,874 votes. Ping Lacson, 733,999 votes. They're followed by Mangundato, Abella, De Guzman, Gonzalez, and Montemayor. Are we going to do the VP race also? Yes, Sara Duterte, still number 1 with 23,881,718 votes. Kiko Pangilinan, 7,211,145 votes. Tito Soto, 6,460,040 votes. Then they're followed by Doc Willie Ong, Lito Atienza, Manny Lopez, Walden Bello, Carlos Serapio, and Lito David. The senatorial race, because we're going to be speaking to Jinggoy Estrada in just a bit. Of course, Robin Padilla is still number 1 with 19.9 million votes. Lauren Legarda, number 2 with 18.9 million votes. Raffy Tulfo, we spoke to him just a while ago, 18.1 million votes. Win Gatchalian, number 4. Cheese Escudero with 16 plus million votes. We spoke to him also earlier. Mark Villar, 15 million votes. Alan Peter Cayetano, Joel Villanueva, Mig Zubiri, JV Ejercito in number 10, who we spoke to a while ago. Risa Ontiveros with 12.2 million votes. And Jinggoy Estrada, JV's half-brother, with 11.5 million votes. He's at number 12. Number 13 is Giorgio Binay, 14 Herbert Bautista, 15 Gibo Teodoro. And they're followed by Eleazar Roque, Onasan, Diokno, and Gadon. We're going to speak now via Zoom to former Senator, and well, so far looking like he could make a comeback, Jinggoy Estrada. Hi, sir.
Hi, Pia. Good evening.
Good evening. Kamusta?
Well, still hanging on. Medyo ninenervous pa rin because I'm still in a very, very precarious situation.
Ninenervyos. Hanging on. You're hanging on by your fingertips like this, or what?
I keep on praying.
Ano yung dasal mo?
Ha?
Ano yung dasal mo?
Ano yung dasal ko? Sana ibigay na sa akin ni Lord to.
Okay. Well, it is 70, well, it's about, what is it, 75% na ba of the ERs that have come in, and this is the Comlec transparency server. Do you think that there is that possibility na malaglag ka pa at this point?
Well, I really do not know kasi hindi naman pinapakita ng mga TV programs kung saan nanggagaling yung mga votes.
Yeah, well, that was
really
also
do
my
not have
question
any
earlier.
idea.
That's what we want to see, kung saan nanggagaling sa
Correct.
yung mga presinto na to, anong mga lungsod, anong mga munisipyo, what provinces, and we don't have that information just yet, but we will find out soon. But so far, from your own projections, are you going to make it?
I think it's quite premature to say, but I think it's quite safe already.
Okay. Earlier, I was speaking to JV, and I was asking him, what's it going to be like kung dalawa kayong mananalo, and therefore magkasama kayo sa Senado, sabi ko, mag-uusap ba kayo doon? Magpapansinan ba kayo? Ano bang mangyayari sa inyong dalawa?
Well, ako naman, I can work with anybody or everybody, whether he's my brother or not. Kahit opposition, I can work with anyone.
Okay, sino tumatawag? Di baka kasi si BBM na yan. All right. Are you, you've seen the numbers, BBM, of course, mounting that huge lead. Are you surprised by this, or is this something that you expected?
Well, based on the previous surveys for the past month and in the latest survey, in all reputable survey firms, I don't think that is already a surprise kasi I think this is the very first time that we will have a majority president. No, even former President Marcos did not have the majority votes.
Okay, although,
Si Bongbong lang.
Oh, Noy Aquino had 41%, President Duterte 39.02%. But Senator Jinggoy, since we're talking already, I wanted to ask you about this, and I wonder if you've addressed this issue. Yung Viber chat ng Ateneo High School batch mo, can you confirm that? That really was you, right? And inaway mo talaga yung,
No.
yung taong yun.
You know, I texted an appeal
Yes.
dun sa aming group chat sa Ateneo. Tapos, I was appealing only for myself. And then, itong isang brat nito, itong batchmate, he's not even my classmate.
Bakit? Ano bang section mo?
Nag-text siya ng medyo may kabastusan ng konti. He should have messaged me in private. No? So, kasi siguro he was mad at Bongbong Marcos and Sara Duterte. He was calling them names, no? Kaya medyo I was really picked. And actually, ang sinabi ko rin sa group chat, okay, good day, Mr. Prats, and God bless you. Game over. Sabi ko
Game over. Oo. Tapos
Ayan, ako
diniem
yan.
mo kung ano-anong pinagsasabi mo sa kanya. Ayan
Ano?
tuloy. Nag-DM ka raw sa kanya.
Already.
Ha?
That was edited already.
Edited? What do you mean?
Oo, meron ng dagdag yun. Hindi ko alam kung saan galing.
No, hindi. Come on, talaga?
Yeah.
Really? What did you say?
Ang nilagay ko lang doon sa group chat ko. Sa group chat namin ng Ateneo.
So the DM was not from you, or you did send him a DM and you did say some things. Ganun ba yun?
No. The original message that I wrote, the text that I sent, was with the group chat of the Ateneo High School 80.
80, yeah.
Yeah, kasi graduate kami 1980. Nabubuking tuloy edad namin eh.
Okay. Yeah, but I'm asking about the DM, or you don't want to talk about it. Does it make you uncomfortable?
Huh?
Does it make you
Excuse me?
uncomfortable talking about it?
Not really.
No? Okay. Well, I just brought it up because, in the last few days of the campaign, that lumabas yon, and, it made the rounds of social media. Talagang ginawa kang pulutan, yun talaga ang pinag-usapan.
Bale, okay lang yun. Bastos kasi yung
Aray ko.
Bastos kasi yung nag-send ng text na yun eh. Imagine I was just only campaigning for myself, appealing for myself, not even BBM and Sara. Galit yata kay BBM
Yeah.
tsaka Inday Sara.
Speaking of BBM, sorry, Senator Jinggoy, we need to cut you kasi nagsasalita na si Senator Marcos. We're gonna go to that. We'll get back to you, Jinggoy. Thank you,
Okay.
thank you.
Sa tambalang Marcos at saka Duterte. Kaya't napakalaki pasasalamat namin sa inyong lahat. Bukod pa doon, ay magpapasalamat ako sa mga kababayan ko na nandiyan sila at nagsuporta sila hindi lamang sa mga kandidato, hindi lamang sa aming partido, kung hindi sa magandang bukas ng ating minamahal na Pilipinas. At yan sa akin ang pinakamahalaga na aking makukuha dito sa kampanyang ito. Kaya ako'y nagpapasalamat sa inyong lahat. Kagaya ng aking sinabi, ay hindi pa tapos ang bilangan. Marami nang nagsasabi na tapos na, pero hindi pa talaga. Antayin natin hanggang talagang maliwanag na maliwanag, mag-100% ng pagbilang. Hanggat tayo ay mag-celebrate o mag-isip na tapos na. Ngunit kahit hindi pa tapos nga ang pagbibilang, hindi makapag-antay ang aking pasasalamat sa inyo lahat. Ang aking pasasalamat sa lahat ng tumulong, sa lahat ng sumapi sa aming ipinaglaban, sa inyong sakripisyo, sa inyong trabaho, at sa binigay ninyo sa amin na oras, na kakayahan, ng sipag. Ang mga ganitong klaseng paggagawa, any endeavor as large as this, does not involve one person. It involves very, very many people working in very, very many different ways. And to all of them, I thank you. And let us keep watch on the vote. Kung tayo'y palarin, ay aasahan ko na yung inyong tulong ay hindi magsawa, ang inyong tiwala ay hindi magsawa. At dahil ay marami po tayong gagawin dito sa ating hinaharap. Maraming salamat sa inyo lahat. Magandang gabi po.
We'll have a photo up with the...
Photo up. You have to have Vincent.
All right, that was former Senator Bongbong Marcos making that statement, presumably that was from his headquarters here in Mandaluyong. And Senator Jinggoy is still here, but I just wanted to just do a little recap of what Mr. Marcos was saying. He was saying thank you to everyone who was part of his campaign. And he said that although things are not yet finished, and that he would rather wait till 100% of the vote count is in, he said that hindi pwedeng maghintay yung pagpapasalamat sa mga nakatulong sa kanya. Of course, he's saying he's making that statement based on the latest numbers. As of 10:47 p.m., he has 24,565,511 votes. Still a very huge lead over Leni Robredo, who has 11,691,138 votes. Ang binabantayan natin dito sa numero ni Leni, kung malalampasan niya yung boto niya noong 2016 VP race, that was 14.4 million, 14,418,817 votes back in 2016. Nasa 11.6 million pa lang siya. Babatayan natin yung numero na yan. Ang binabatay naman natin sa numero ni BBM ay yung malampasan niya yung 25 million vote mark. But anyway, number 3 is Manny Pacquiao with 2.4 million votes. Isko Moreno, 1.5 million votes. Ping Lacson, 744,000 plus votes. They're followed by Mangundato, Abella, De Guzman, Gonzales, and Montemayor. For the vice presidential race, it is still Sara Duterte who is in the number 1 spot with 24,411,764 votes. Kiko Pangilinan, number 2, 7,356,975 votes. Tito Soto, 6,585,200 votes. They're followed by Willie Ong, Lito Atienza, Manny Lopez, Walden Bello, Carlos Serapio, and Lito David. The senatorial race, before we go back to Senator Jinggoy Estrada, senatorial race still as of 10:47 p.m. Tonight, Robin Padilla still number 1 with 20.3 million votes. Lauren Legarda, 19.2 million. Rafi Tulfo, 18.5 million. They're followed by Win Gatchalian, Cheese Escudero, Mark Villar, Alan Cayetano, Joel Villanueva, Mig Zubiri, JV Ejercito, and number 11, Risa Ontiveros, and number 12, Jinggoy Estrada with 11.7 million votes. And then following them are Jojo Binay, Herbert Bautista, Gibo Teodoro, Eleazar Roque Onasan Diokno, and Gadon. Let's go back to Senator Jinggoy Estrada. Senator Estrada, you heard BBM, Senator Marcos, speaking a while ago. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think that is a preliminary dun sa kanyang victory speech siguro yan. I think they're right now in their headquarters, Mandaluyong. His family is there, and some of our unity candidates are already there. And of course, congratulating him. I think the lead of BBM and
Sarah,
Mayor Sara,
insurmountable na ba?
insurmountable na. Masyado ng masyadong uh, masyado na malaki yung kanilang lamang. So I think we have a new president by the name of Bongbong Marcos and new vice president by the name of Inday Sara Duterte.
What would you say? A while ago, we were talking about that Viber chat with your Ateneo High School batchmates. But you know, what would you say to other Lenny supporters? You know, she's still number two, no? And there was a lot of rancor and a lot of tension in this last campaign. It was a very bitter campaign.
No, all we want actually, not only me, all we want is respect and understanding. If you are with Lenny, it's okay. If I am with Bongbong Marcos, it's okay. I mean, magrespetuhan tayo. At the end of the day, we have to support the newly elected president. Kasi if our newly elected president will fail, syempre babagsak din yung ating bansa. Now, if we will support the president and if he succeeds as president of the republic, sinong makikinabang? Ang taong bayan din.
Okay. My final question for you, Senator Jinggoy, is about your dad. Does he know already about your rankings, no, you and JV, and what was the last thing he said to you before election
Well, I
day?
haven't. I just talked to him before the counting, and he was asking me what my rank was. And I said I think I was around 11 to 12. So he just nodded.
Okay. Nakaboto naman siya. Was he able to
Yes.
vote? Yes?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
good.
He was assisted by my brother Jude.
Okay. Sige. Any final words? Anything else you'd like to add, Senator Jinggoy?
Well, in case, thank you very much, Pia. In case I win in this election, I would like to thank all all our supporters, friends, of course, my family, my mom and my dad, my wife and my children, my sisters and my brothers who really helped me a lot. Of course, kay Bongbong Marcos, Inday Sara Duterte, and all my fellow candidates under the unit team. Maraming salamat po.
And maraming salamat din sa inyo, senatorial candidate and former Senator Jinggoy Estrada. Thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you.
Salamat.
Thank you.
We'll keep bringing you the results of today's votes as we get them, as they come in here. Stay tuned to CNN Philippines. This is a special coverage, Election Night 2022.
Pia, kung nakikita niyo sa likuran ko, wala nang tao ngayon dito sa PICC dahil nakareses ngayon yung National Board of Canvassers na supposedly ay magka-canvass para sa mga senador at party list. Bukas ng 1:00 ng hapon sila magre-reconvene dito kapag pumasok na yung mga certificates of canvass mula sa mga probinsya. Pia? Ma'am, alam mo kung ikukumpara natin dun sa nakaraang eleksyon, di ba? Kung kailan na parang halos 7 oras yung hinintay bago dumating yung unang mga partial and unofficial results ng transparency survey. Nabanggit ba ang COMELEC kung saan nila ina-attribute yung speed ng pagbalik ng or pagpasok ng transmission sa eleksyon na ito at kung ito nga ba yung inasahan nilang rate of transmission? Alam mo, Pia, nakakatawa dahil yung sagot dyan ni Commissioner Marlon Casquejo ng COMELEC ay preparation. Yun daw yung naging dahilan kung bakit mabilis yung transmission ng mga election returns ngayong election 2022. Pero siguro isa dun sa mga dahilan din na pwede nating i-attribute dito sa mabilis na transmission ay dahil medyo meron tayong upgrading ng mga gamit natin. Yung mga servers ng COMELEC na dati ay nasa mga makeshift na data centers lang, ngayon nakalagay na ito sa mga Tier 3 ISO certified na mga data centers. Kaya talagang kumpleto yung facilities nila doon, yung kanilang connectivity, pati yung temperature, kontrolado doon. Kaya siguro nandoon na rin sa pag-upgrade ng mga makina at teknolohiya ng COMELEC. Kaya rin mas mabilis yung transmission ngayon, Pia. So ang pinupunto mo dyan, Mav, na yung mga upgrading, ito yung mga ginagamit for transmission. Kasi nga, di ba kanina buong araw, ang dami nagre-reklamo na nagkaaberya sa kanilang mga VCM or vote counting machine. Pero balikan ko lang din, no, yung nabanggit mo, 533, tama ba, Mav? Yung mga kinailangan ng repair. Pero ibig ba sabihin nito, yun yung 533, may mga nag-submit na, nakapag-transmit na dun sa 533 na yon? Dun sa 533 na yon, Tia, ang nangyari daw kasi ay dahil kapag nasira yung VCM na nasa presinto, ang unang gagawin dyan ay pwedeng i-repair nung COMELEC technician na nandoon mismo sa presinto. Ngayon, dahil itong mga ito ay hindi na nga magawa, ang ginawa nila yung 1,800 na, o 1,100 na contingency VCMs ng COMELEC, yun yung mga dinedeploy nila. Kumbaga papalitan mo kaagad. Tapos itong 533, kinuha nila, pinull out sa mga presinto, hindi repair. Pagkatapos, yun naman yung magiging pool ng mga contingency VCMs. Kaya mabilis yung naging palitan. Hindi na siya na parang 533, tatabing muna namin, aayusin, tsaka ibabalik sa mga presinto. Kumbaga parang exchange yung ginawa nila. Ilalagay mo nila yung contingency machine, and then yung mga may aberya, aayusin muna ng COMELEC. Yeah? Alright, maraming salamat sa'yo, Mav Gonzalez.
Update po tayo sa canvassing ng mga boto dyan po sa lungsod ng Maynila. At saksi live si JP Soriano. JP.
Igan, magandang gabi. Umaabot na sa 90.94% ang mga nabibilang na boto ng Manila City Board of Canvassers dito sa Manila City Hall para sa mga nangyaring botohan ngayong araw. At ang mga results na yan ay makikita sa Consolidation and Canvassing System o CCS na nakikita po ng lahat ng narito ngayon na observers, mga representative, mga abogado ng mga kandidato at mga partido na nandito. At ayon sa chairman ng City Board of Canvassers si Attorney Gregorio Bonifacio,
You're watching a CNN Philippines special coverage, the Filipino Votes Election Night 2022. It is May 9, 2022. We've just had national elections, general elections, and as of 10:47 p.m., based on the COMELEC Transparency Server, Bongbong Marcos has 24,565,511 votes. Leni Robredo, 11,691,138 votes. Manny Pacquiao, 2,401,374 votes. Isko Moreno, 1,563,170 votes. Ping Lacson, 744,817 votes. They're followed by Faisal Mangundato, Ernie Abelia, Leody de Guzman, Bert Gonzalez, Jose Montemayor Jr. That is the presidential race. Robin Padilla is number one with 20,370,235 votes. Lauren Legarda, number two with 19,264,420 votes. Rafi Tulfo, 18,536,994 votes. They're followed by Win Gatchalian, Cheese Escudero, Mark Villar, Alan Cayetano, Joel Villanueva, Mig Zubiri, JV Estrada, Ejercito Estrada, Risa Ontiveros, and Jingoy Estrada. That rounds up the 12, but George Obina is number 13, 14, Herbert Bautista, and 15, Gibo Teodoro. They're followed by Eliazar Roque Onasan, Diokno, and Gadon. Now, voters are still waiting at different polling precincts, polling centers in the city of Manila after many vote counting machines malfunctioned. Joining us live now is Stanley Gahete from there. Stanley.
Pia, some clustered polling precincts still have voters hoping to cast their votes even after schools close their gates at 7 p.m. The original plan of the Department of Education supervising officer and COMELEC officials are to immediately replace the malfunctioning VCMs despite having no assurance when this will arrive. Some voters agreed to just sign waivers to allow the BEIs to insert their ballots when new machines come. However, for some polling precincts with VCMs that malfunctioned this morning, new machines have been delivered at around 8 p.m., a welcome relief to voters who are all determined to cast their votes. Ligarda Elementary School in Sampaloc, Manila had 5 defective vote counting machines.
Pabor po sa amin kasi syempre ang haba din po ng pinila namin tapos sure po na yung boto namin na makakount po. Kesa po doon sa manual, ang tagal din po namin na naghintay dito. Buti po dumating na.
Sobrang saya din po kasi yung pila po namin hindi po nasayang kasi bigla po siyang dumating.
Meanwhile, election returns are now coming in at COMELEC City Board of Canvassers here in Manila City Hall. As of 9:30 p.m., 88% of the local voting results are already in. Vice Mayor Hani Lacuna currently has a huge margin against her nearest rival, Alex Lopez. For Manila Vice Mayor, Yul Servo is leading, followed by Raymond Bagatsing. On the other hand, most of Manila voters voted for Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos, followed by Vice President Leni Robredo and Senator Manny Pacquiao. For Vice President Sara Duterte leads, followed by Senator Kiko Pangilinan. The Board of Canvassers are still waiting for more election returns. We'll continue updating the tally as we receive more results from different polling places in Manila. And here's the latest here at Manila City Hall. Back to you, Pia.
Yes, Stanley, very quickly, can we go over the votes for President? You said BBM. Ano yung boto ni BBM dyan? And then, sige, go ahead.
Yeah, as of 9:30 p.m., we received 88% of the total number of votes, and former Senator Bongbong Marcos recorded about 400,000, more than 400,000 votes from Manila residents, followed by Vice President Leni Robredo with almost 200,000 votes. And we'll still continue updating the tally as more results are coming in from different polling places in Manila. Pia.
Yes, Stanley, and ano yung boto ni Isko dyan sa Manila?
Isko Moreno still have more than 200,000 as of 9:30 p.m. when we've observed here at City Canvassers, and there are still more voters coming in because some schools are still transmitting their results as of today.
All right, Stanley Gahete there reporting live from the city of Manila. All right, Richard, final words from you before we let you go.
Right.
My
Final words is not
Ilocano
what I
guest.
don't want to have. Like,
My Ilocano guest.
It's not done yet. Hanpay nalpasen. The election. Yeah. It's just, no, I mean, as I'm saying, one thing that always worried me is these elections will be too polarized that the losing candidate will not accept it under any circumstances. That is a lose-lose situation for everyone, right? Post-electoral mayhem, violence, thank God we haven't had that. And I hope we will stay in that track, right? And for me, whoever becomes the next president, he will have to work with as many people as possible to effectuate a policy. We saw with President Duterte, he's a strong personality, he had a lot of support, but a lot of times there was a lot of backlash, a lot of policy, whether on foreign policy, whether on some of his economic policy, etc. Now, prospective president Ferdinand Marcos Jr. always talks about unity. I don't know what that means, but I hope what that means is that he's going to be a president really for each and every Filipino, including those who didn't vote for him, including those who have a lot of reservations.
Including those who hated him. So,
yeah,
and the Lenny supporters.
This is his chance to defy his critics by showing a side perhaps that they didn't see. I mean, he's not the first son of a former strongman, right, or a strong figure becoming a leader. I mean, in Korea, we had a woman, Park Chung-hee, right, who became their president. In France, you had Napoleon III. And sometimes even the prodigal sons or daughters or nephews tend to do better when they're more practical rather than megalomaniac than their father and all of that. And so my hope is, in this case, whoever becomes the next president, whether it's Lenny, whether it's Marcos, they will always remember.
Whether.
I'm just saying, but I think mathematically it's becoming... I was calculating, even if Lenny gets all the remaining votes, which is not statistically reasonable, it's still going to be a tough fight. But if it's prospective President Marcos Jr., which is not totally surprising based on the discussions we have had, then I hope he defies his critics as much as he wants to please his supporters.
Yeah. Well, during the campaign, he very rarely, if ever, attacked any of his opponents, right? I mean, he was always,
This is what I want to say, right?
Yeah.
If you look at Marcos Jr., this is something fascinating about him, right? On one hand, again, this is not necessarily praise. I'm just saying this is something intellectually curious because
this is your observation
he has the Marcos name, which or has a clear aura, right? It has a clear message. Strong man to make us great again. At the same time, if you look at him personally, he's a very avuncular, charming person. Everyone who has met him. And I don't think it's just a put-up. I think that's his release personality. He's a much more chill person. He's a much more avuncular, charming, urbane person for that matter. And in that sense, he has been able to have the cake and eat it too, right? So my point is, it's also important that prospective President Marcos also sends the right signal to his supporters that, see, in short, lead by example. If he's really someone who's not into negative campaigning, into fights, he really wants unity, I hope his supporters also project that. Because we don't want a situation whereby that's being just outsourced to your supporters. You project clean unity, and then your supporters are
good
doing...
Good cop, bad cop.
Exactly.
Okay.
I hope it's not a good cop, bad cop situation. I'm not saying that's the case, but I hope that's not the case, right? Because so much polarization in our politics. A lot of us are... I mean, how many people get canceled on Twitter, online? It's just so toxic. It's such a how can you save democracy? How can you make democracy better? How can we push our country in the right direction if we don't detox, right? We really need a detox time. That doesn't mean we forget accountability. That doesn't mean we forget transparency. But what I'm saying is always have the long view. Play the long game. And the only way for a democracy to have a chance is if both sides, opposition and the administration, don't forget that at the end of the day, they are there for the national interest. I think that's a very important thing. Now, I'm already sounding like a politician, so before that, I'm going to whiz out and get to my next assignment.
Get to your next gig.
I know. I think I'm in a dangerous territory but I'm talking in intellectual curiosity. Again, we're totally non-partisan here, just to be clear. Including, my Ilocano side.
Yes, you have to say that again. Maraming salamat sa'yo, Richard Hidarian. We'll see you again very soon. I'm sure
Pleasure.
there's a lot to analyze in the next few days, weeks, months, etc. Salamat for being here. Just moments ago, former Senator Bongbong Marcos thanked supporters as he leads the presidential race. Here's that short speech from his headquarters in Mandaluyong.
Magpapasalamat ako sa mga kababayan ko na nandiyan sila at nagsuporta sila hindi lamang sa mga kandidato, hindi lamang sa aming partido, kung hindi sa magandang bukas ng ating minamahal na Pilipinas. At dyan sa akin ang pinakamahalaga na aking makukuha dito sa kampanyang ito. Kaya ako'y nagpapasalamat sa inyong lahat. Kagaya ng aking sinabi, ay hindi pa tapos ang bilangan. Marami nang nagsasabi na tapos na, pero hindi pa talaga. Antayin natin hanggang talagang maliwanag, mag-100% ng pagbilang. Hanggat tayo'y mag-celebrate o mag-isip na tapos na. Ngunit, kahit hindi pa tapos nga ang pagbibilang, hindi makapag-antay ang aking pasasalamat sa inyo lahat. Ang aking pasasalamat sa lahat ng tumulong, sa lahat ng sumapi sa aming ipinaglaban, sa inyong sakripisyo, sa inyong trabaho, at sa binigay ninyo sa amin na oras, nakakayahan, ng sipag. Ang mga ganitong klaseng pagkagawa, any endeavor as large as this, does not involve one person. It involves very, very many people working in very, very many different ways. And to all of them, I thank you. And let us keep watch on the vote. Kung tayo'y palarin, ay aasahan ko na yung inyong tulong ay hindi magsawa, ang inyong tiwala ay hindi magsawa. At dahil ay marami po tayong gagawin dito sa ating hinaharap. Maraming salamat sa inyo lahat. Magandang gabi po.
All night here on CNN Philippines, we'll keep a close watch on the progress of today's vote, and we'll bring you the results as soon as we get them. So keep it right here.
Literacy Accessible Polling Place ng Nagpayong Elementary School sa Pasig. Imbis daw na mapabilis, naging mabagal pa raw ang pagboto ng kanyang inang senior citizen.
Mag-aantay po kayo, sir, kasi may pinapabot, sir. Opo. Hindi ako uuwi. Hahanapin po kami sa
Mabuti na lang at nanganap din ang kanyang pangalan sa pulong ng support staff.
bahay sa pamilya ko. Bahay sa bahay niya.
Nakipagsabayan naman sa libo-libong bumoto sa Alabang Elementary School ang kambal na sina Joshua Jerome Delmida. Hindi naging hadlang ang kanilang pagiging visually impaired dahil malinaw para sa kanila ang kahalagahan ng pagboto.
Mahalaga ang boto nating mga persons with disability kasi dito natin mabo-voice out yung boses natin doon sa magiging future natin. Pinagpe-pray ko yung tao na yun. Inaano ko din si Lord since sinasabi ko din na tama ba itong iboboto ko?
Sa Santiago, Isabela, kahit ang mga senior na nakapila sa special lane, gaya ng 93 years old na si Benigno Hernandez, may isang oras na hintay bago makaboto.
Layo na ang pinaka-visit ko kay Visit. Di ba presidential election yung kanya? Sabi niya gusto niya raw manito kasi para sa ating nagsali.
Brownout naman ang nagpabagal sa botohan sa General P. De Leon Elementary School sa Valenzuela dahil sa pagka-overload ng circuit ng kuryente. Inabot ng 2 oras bago na ibalik ang supply ng kuryente. Bagaman tuloy ang botohan dahil may baterya ang mga BCM, nagdulot ito ng pagbagal sa botohan kaya lalong humaba ang pila ng mga botante. 2 beses pang naulit ang brownout, pero hindi ito alintana ng mga botante. Si Tatay Romulo hindi tinanggap ang kanyang balota matapos itong madumihan. Hindi raw kasi napansin ni Tatay Romulo na marumi pala ang kanyang braso at nalipat sa kanyang balota. Nakiusap siya para hindi mabaliwala ang kanyang boto. Kinailangan pang tumawag ng principal ng eskwelahan sa abogado ng COMELEC para maresolba ang issue. Sa huli, pinagbigyan ang kanyang liig.
Maganda po yun, no? Para po hindi mabaliwala yung boto. Kasi yun nga po inaalagaan natin, kailangan na makounted yung boto natin eh.
Ako si Jim Encarnacion, ang inyong saksi. Silipin natin ang canvassing ng mga boto sa Caloocan City. Saksi live si Darling Kai. Darling.
Legally, tinigil muna yung canvassing dito sa Caloocan habang hinihintay makumpleto yung transmission sa lahat ng barangay at habang hinihintay maayos yung mga SD cards na nagkaaberya. Sa ngayon, 142 out of 188 barangays na yung nakakumpleto ng transmission of votes. 40 barangays pa yung ongoing yung transmission at 6 na barangay yung hindi pa nakakapag-transmit. May ilang aberyang na-encounter dito ayon sa chairman ng Board of Canvassers na si Attorney Maria Ann Gonzalez. Siyam na SD cards yung nagka-problema at dinala sa Santa Rosa Technical Repair Hubs kanina. Pero sa latest update, isang SD card na lang yung inaayos sa Technical Hub at 3 yung nakabalik na at 5 yung on the way dito. 6 ang naglalaban sa magka-mayor dito. 2 sa kanila ay parehong incumbent.
CNN Philippines is your most trusted destination for live, up-to-the-minute and in-depth coverage of today's historic vote. You're watching the Filipino Votes 2022 election night. Earlier, we had those numbers as of 11:17 tonight. Marcos has 25,489,420 votes. He has breached that 25 million mark. Leni Robredo, 12,145,860 votes at number 2. We're waiting for her to get to the 14.4 million mark because that was her votes. Those were her votes, 14.4 million back in 2016 during the VP race. Manny Pacquiao, 2,564,260 votes. Isko Moreno, 1,607,887 votes. Ping Lacson, 763,927 votes. They're followed by Mangundato, Abelia, De Guzman, Gonzales, and Montemayor. In the VP race, Sara Duterte, number 1, with 25,408,391 votes. Kiko Pangilinan, 7,630,661 votes. Tito Soto, 6,813,744 votes. Willie Ong, number 4. Number 5 is Lito Atienza, followed by Manny Lopez, Walton Bello, Carlos Serapio, and Lito David. Now let's take a look at how our kababayans from different regions voted. Mai Rodriguez is here with us in the studio. Mai.
Hi, Pia. Now, we are going to check how our kababayans voted in the regions. Right now, let's start at the NCR. We're seeing Bongbong Marcos leading in the NCR with 3,045,514 votes. He has a close to 1.4 million lead over Leni Robredo with 1.6 million votes, followed by Isko Moreno at number 3. We're just gonna refresh this map a bit and go again to the NCR and check the votes over here. Let's go back to number 3, Isko Moreno with 485,300 votes. Ping Lacson at number 4 with 128,279, and we're gonna stop at Manny Pacquiao with 86,000 votes. Now, let's check at Region 1, the Ilocos region, the bailiwick of Bongbong Marcos, at 2,226,249, followed by Leni Robredo with 285,876. Mayor Isko Moreno at 41,454. Manny Pacquiao at 29,000 votes. Let's check how Ilocos, or the Ilocos region, voted for Vice President. Here you go, Sara Duterte leading at 1,881,955, followed by Tito Soto at 428,295. And number 3, Kiko Pangilinan at 183,845 votes. Doc Willie Ong is at number 4. Lito Atienza is at number 5. Now let's go to Region 5, the Bicol region, checking the bailiwick of Leni Robredo. Let's go to how they voted for president first. Region 5, Leni Robredo, not surprising, 1,873,423, a wide lead over Bongbong Marcos at 421,823 votes. Manny Pacquiao at number 3 with 68,511 votes, followed by Isko Moreno at number 4, 25,359, and Ping Lacson at number 5. Let's check how they voted for Vice President. Again, this is the Bicol region. Kiko Pangilinan leading with 1,351,304. Sara Duterte, 516,403. Tito Soto at 401,809. And Doc Willie Ong, 77,576. Again, this is the partial unofficial tally straight from the COMELEC transparency server as of 11:02 p.m. We will bring you more of the numbers as this is updated. Pia.
So, not surprising, like you were saying, BBM leading in the Ilocos region, and sorry, we didn't go through the car, no, Cordillera.
Not
we don't
yet.
have that.
Do you want to check the car?
Can we? Can we look at Cordillera?
Let's check if we can go to the Cordillera region. Okay, Bongbong Marcos leading with 644,651 votes coming in as of 11:02 p.m. Leni Robredo with 78,614. Ping Lacson at 19,367. Manny Pacquiao, 16,000. Mayor Isko Moreno at 11,766. This is how the Cordillera region voted. I'm thinking this is not much of the votes yet. We don't know yet how many percent of the ERs came in for the Cordillera region, Pia.
Oh. Kasama din sa yung tinatawag na Ilocano country, yung Region 2. Can we also look at Region 2 now? Is that possible?
Okay, we will refresh and go to Region 2.
Cagayan Valley region.
Cagayan Valley region. This is how they voted in the presidential race. Bongbong Marcos leading a wide lead at 1,365,711. Lenny Robredo with only 143,138. Manny Pacquiao with 22,400. Isko Moreno, 18,936. Ping Lacson, 17,981. This is how Region 2 voted for president. You want to check? Let's check very quickly how they voted for vice president. We're gonna wait on that a bit. Let's see if we're gonna get how they voted for vice president, or maybe
yun.
Okay, over here. Maybe we're gonna get that data later as the screen
Loading
is
data.
loading. Okay, Pia, back to you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Mai Rodriguez, for drilling things down for us so that we can see what the numbers were like in those regions. Yung mga command votes na tinatawag, Ilocano country, for example, even Bicol, Lenny, of course, leading there in Bicol. All right, nearly all votes are all votes are in within 5 hours since the polls closed at 7 in the evening. Let's get details from Melissa Lopez, who is still in Pasay City. Mel?
Pia, it will take a couple more days until the winners of the 2022 race are officially proclaimed as duly elected leaders of the country. As of 11 p.m., 80% of clustered precincts nationwide have already finished counting the votes cast and transmitted the data to the city or municipal board of canvassers. That leaves about 20,000 more precincts which have not yet completed the transmission of votes and have not reached the city level yet. Now, what should we expect from here? So as polls close around 7 or a little later, the VCMs, or the vote counting machines, will transmit the votes, as I said, to the local municipal or city board of canvassers. It also sends out the data to the transparency servers like that of the COMELEC, which we are using as basis for our breaking news coverage right now, and as well as to the poll watchdog PPCRV. Now, when the votes reach the city or municipal board of canvassers, they will collate all of that votes within their jurisdiction, and that will be their basis for proclaiming the winners of the local race. So that's your mayor, your vice mayor, your congressman in the district, and of course the councilors. Once that's done, it goes up another level. The certificates of canvass from the city will be transmitted to the provincial board of canvassers. Diyan mo naman malalaman sino yung mananalong governor at vice governor, pati mga board member. It follows the same process. It will combine all the votes cast in the provinces under them. And then finally, the provincial board will elevate votes cast to here, the National Board of Canvassers. Now, you will see the area behind me is empty, and that's because the COMELEC, sitting as National Board of Canvassers, did not start the canvassing yet kasi hindi pa umaabot sa kanila yung mga votes na binilang. Kasi ngayon, ang municipal level pa lang ang karamihan na gumagalaw. So they have to wait for that. They will reconvene tomorrow at 1 p.m. They are expected to start counting the votes cast and eventually declare the 12 winning senators, and as well as the party list groups. We expect that in a week's time. Meanwhile, those running for the presidential and vice presidential race will know their fate. It will hang with the official canvassing, this time in the hands of Congress, but that will wait until end of May. Pia.
The Senate and the House of Representatives sitting in joint session as the National Board of Canvassers, as Melissa Lopez was reporting. Thank you for that, Mel. Let's bring in our senior correspondent, Anjo Alimario, who is still in Camarines Sur, in Naga City, in Camarines Sur. Anjo.
Hi, Tia. Good evening. We're here at 15 Martires Plaza where the supporters of Vice President Lenny Robredo are gathering right now as the partial and unofficial tally shows that Marcos is leading by a wide margin in the presidential race. They've been here since around 10 p.m. And earlier they were singing Rosas, which has become the anthem of Robredo's campaign, and Bayan Ko. And also earlier they held a prayer vigil. They prayed the rosary. Obviously, they're very sad with the development in today's elections, with the results coming out. And this is actually nagtawag lang yung solid Lenny Bicol na magtipon-tipon yung supporters dito sa plaza. And right now, the plaza is almost full of supporters, and we've seen more of them arriving here at the plaza. And there's no formal program here. We don't know yet hanggang ano oras sila magstay dito, but definitely they are united here. Of course, Nagdeños are frustrated. It's a painful thing for them to accept that, it's another missed chance for them to have the first Bicolana president. And they've been wanting, dreaming to have that first Bicolana president. But with the current results for the presidential race, with Marcos, of course, leading the pack. And so far, I think the program, I don't know if the program is almost over, pero ngayon, alam mo, daman-daman mo yung lungkot dito, ng mga supporter, nangungusap yung kanilang mata, and iba nag-iiyakan, iba nagyayakapan. And ngayon, pinapatugtog uli yung Rosas. Of course, many are becoming emotional as they hear this song, because this song really united them and still uniting them para nga kay Robredo. And again, we're still waiting for official any word or statement coming from Robredo herself or from her spokesperson or anyone from her team. But I think bukas na yan mangyayari, Pia, we're told. So, natin alam din kung mababago yung schedule niya because we know yung plan, the original plan was she should stay here in Naga or in Kamsur na matagal-tagal. But with the development, we don't know kung may mababago ba sa schedule niya. And we also understand that this month also, I think by next week.
In 3 minutes' time, it will be May 10, bukas na yon. I was about to ask nga kung magsasalita ba siya anytime soon, no? But, well, interesting also to know that, like you said, pupunta pala siya ng Amerika, no, to be with her youngest daughter, si Jill. I wanted to also ask, Anjo, kasi kanina, pinapakita na nga ni Mai yung mga boto sa mga rehiyon, no? So, for example, Region 1, and CAR going for BBM, Region 5 for Lenny, of course. But I wanted to ask you if you have the data available, how she fared in Naga City, her hometown, and Camarines Sur in the province itself. Do you have that data available?
As of now, Pia, we don't have that data yet, but babalikan kita. We're still getting that figures. I think so yung nagkakamali, nag-pause yung canvassing sa provincial or city level. But babalikan kita, Pia, for that data.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one more thing, Anjo. Kanina kausap ko si Cheese Escudero, no? And I asked him about what message he would have for Lenny supporters. And he said in so many words, no? I'm just paraphrasing and summarizing na, kumbaga, the will of the majority, respecting the mandate, reaching out to each other. What does that sound like? What would that sound like to Lenny's voters, Lenny supporters?
Well, yeah, that will be the ultimate test here for her supporters, is to really accept the results of tonight's elections, kung mababago ba or kung hindi na mababago yung resulta ng election, given yung laki ng lamang ni Bongbong Marcos. And especially here sa Naga, they're very passionate about supporting and backing Robredo. And of course, doon yung mga passionate supporters niya even in different parts of the country. So again, doon mo makikita, matitest din actually yung maturity of the supporters, of how they will accept this, or will this fuel them to, yun nga, sinasabi nila, this campaign has turned into a movement. So we'll see how will the next days kung paano maapektuhan yung kanyang mga supporters, Pia.
And sorry, well, just one last question about 45 minutes ago, nagsalita si Mr. Marcos sa kanyang headquarters. Would you know if they were able to watch that? Napanood ba nila yon? Narinig ba nila? Meron ba silang mga reactions to that?
Right now, Pia, I don't have that information, but I understand that they are converging sa bahay ni Lenny sa Magaraw, and I've been told Barry is there and other part of the core team of Lenny's campaign are there sa bahay nila. Pero yun nga, siguro bukas na talaga natin malalaman kung magkakaroon man ng any announcement or press conference coming from her.
Alright, at umabot na tayo sa bukas kasi 12:01 a.m. May 10,
Good morning,
Tuesday.
Pia.
Good morning sa'yo, Anjo Alimario reporting from Naga City in Camarines Sur. Anjo was assigned to the Lenny Kiko campaign for this election. You can count on CNN Philippines for live, in-depth coverage of this year's general elections. Stay with us. CNN Philippines is your most trusted destination for live, up-to-the-minute and in-depth coverage of today's historic vote. You're watching the Filipino Votes 2022 election night. The numbers so far still the same, 25,914,360 votes for Bongbong Marcos, who just about an hour or so ago thanked his supporters, making that statement before media and supporters. He said he wanted to thank them all, even if he said that he wanted to wait till 100% of the vote was in. But he said saying thank you couldn't wait, and that's why he made that statement. Now, Leni Robredo with 12,361,112 votes. I was speaking to Anjo Alimario, who is with the Lenny Kiko campaign coverage team, and he was saying that showing pictures also of Lenny supporters, quite demoralized in Naga City in Camarines Sur. We understand that VP Lenny is in her home in Magarao, which is a few minutes away from Naga City. Still no word as to what exactly she's going to do or say in the next few hours, but Anjo did say that she would be leaving for the U.S. to be with her youngest daughter. Now, in the number three spot, and again, this is as of 11:32 p.m. of May 9, Manny Pacquiao with 2,644,519 votes. Isko Moreno, 1,628,060 votes, number 4. Number 5 is Ping Lacson with 773,077 votes. They're followed by Faisal Mangundato, Ernie Abella, Leoty de Guzman, Bert Gonzalez, and Jose Montemayor Jr. The vice presidential race, it is still Sara Duterte in the lead, a very huge lead over Kiko Pangilinan. Sara Duterte has 25,870,289 votes. Kiko Pangilinan, 7,758,960 votes. Tito Soto, 6,921,216 votes. They're followed by Willie Ong, Lito Atienza, Manny Lopez, Walden Bello, Carlos Serapio, and Lito David. The senatorial race, Robin Padilla is number 1, 21,585,601 votes. Lauren Legarda, 20,245,957 votes. Rafi Tulfo, 19,503,336 votes, followed by Win Gatchalian, Cheese Escudero, Mark Villar, Alan Cayetano, Joel Villanueva, Mig Zubiri, JV Ejercito Estrada. In number 11, Risa Ontiveros. Number 12, Jinggoy Estrada. Number 13 is Jojo Binay, followed by Herbert Bautista, Gibo Teodoro, Gilor Eleazar, Harry Roque, Greg Onasan, Chel Diokno, and Larry Gadon. Those are the latest numbers. Comlec Transparency Server, this is more than 75% of the vote of election returns. Now, here with us tonight, no, not tonight, this morning, it is 12:09 in the morning. Okay, bago natin kausapin si Edwin Lasherda, who's here with us tonight, we're going to go first back to Rex Remitio in the BBM Sara headquarters here in Mandaluyong. Rex? Rex? Rex, go ahead.
Well, as you can see right behind me, supporters of Bongbong Marcos are now celebrating outside his campaign headquarters in Mandaluyong City. They've been here since around 9 in the evening after they learned that Marcos is leading by a wide margin against his rival Vice President Leni Robredo. They're singing, they're dancing to the tune of songs like that of rapper Andrew E. and Ang Bagong Lipunan, which is one of the anthems of the martial law era. Now, a while ago, presidential candidate Bongbong Marcos delivered an address to the nation where he is to show their support. They're also waving their flags. So far, Marcos is now upstairs with some very important persons and other celebrities and politicians. I'm not sure if they're eating now or what they're doing, but what we saw